So, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this segment today, but I thought I would just because, well, Last of Us has been, I guess you could say, well, episode 3 dropped last night. And I played the game back when it came out, like in 2013, 2014. I thought it was a great game. But episode 3, I saw 1 and 2, obviously. I liked them. I thought 1 was better than 2, to be honest. 2 was kind of slightly lower in quality, I guess you can say. I thought they could have done it in 2 parts, but it was alright overall. Anyhow, episode 3. They dropped that yesterday, and I saw it, sitting down with my family, and oh boy. I wasn't really thrilled about it. The episode starts, in case you want to avoid spoilers, I would highly suggest not watching this, but I'll give you one brief warning. I'll give you a brief opinion first, though. I didn't really like it. And I'll tell you, well, pretty soon. And so, well, here come the spoilers. You have Joel and Ellie. They leave Boston, and they're heading out to go find Bill and Frank. And that's pretty in line with how the game goes. Tess dies, you're trying to go find Bill and Frank. Try and get yourself a car battery in order to try and get yourself farther out west. In the game, you're going for the whole truck, whereas in the TV show, you just want the battery to get a truck that you don't really have. Anyhow, long story short, the issue, I guess you could say, in the whole thing is the homosexuality that's present. I'm just calling it as it is. Look, in the game, it's pretty consistent. In the game, it's kind of implied, but not overt, that Bill is clearly gay, and so is Frank, and they're in a relationship. The issue with the TV show is that it's not even the fact that it's just overt. The fact is that, oh boy, there's a whole burly man-on-man scene that, I don't know. A person like me doesn't really want to see, is not interested in seeing, doesn't need to see at all. Not interested in that. A lot of people say that, well, a lot of people would say that my views are pretty homophobic, and I resent that label, and here's why. I don't like the idea of being called a homophobe because I'm not afraid of it. My personal view is that it's not a healthy or smart or moral life decision. And I think that's kind of reflected, actually, when you actually watch the whole episode. Because when you get to the end of it, you see Bill and Frank, and they're both getting old, and they're still in love, but there's no one around to take care of them. That's the problem with homosexuality. It's a life of pleasure that leads you down to essentially, well, nothing. You get old, and I guess it ends by you asking your significant other to give you some pills in your wine so you can euthanize yourself, while that other guy does the same thing to himself. All in all, it's that all that gay stuff did not need to be in there. It should have focused on the development of Joel and Ellie. They are the stars of the show. The whole thing revolves around them. Giving backstory on Bill and Frank is just pushing an agenda I resent completely. But it's in there. Will I stop watching the whole TV show because of it? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not, though. I'll probably see if they can improve on that in the next episode. This one bothers me. Look, I get it. Hollywood has an agenda to push. They're going to do it. What are you going to do about it? I don't know. I guess support alternatives that don't really bother my moral compass, I guess. It's just stupid that some people come back and be like, well, why are you threatened by other people's sexual preferences? Well, I'm not threatened by it. Society is threatened by it. That's the problem. It's not like you're just showing the stuff in a vacuum. You show the stuff in order to make it more acceptable, more normal, so that you normalize the behavior and becomes more common. And what happens when this behavior becomes more common? Well, look how it is. Even the episode depicts it. You get no kids, you grow old, no one's around to take care of you, so you might as well kill yourself. It's not exactly a great outlook for the future, right? It's kind of funny in a way. They're trying to be pro-homosexual, while at the same time, they're highlighting all the problems that come with that lifestyle. It's fascinating to me. Anyhow, I just wanted to make this video to kind of complain about it. I thought it was kind of dumb that they had to force us that hard in there. Joel and Ellie are the stars of the show. You shouldn't have done like 80% of the show to Bill and Frank. Even so, I thought it was kind of dumb that they had to change it. First off, in the TV show, they kill themselves by drinking wine laced with drugs. In the game, but you meet Bill, you talk to him. He's just a prepper kind of guy who also happens to be gay, although you figure that out through bits and pieces and it becomes more obvious as you go on. But ultimately, you figure it out by ultimately, Frank does wind up killing himself in the game too, just like in, well, not just like in the movie. But he does it because there's a whole thing between him and Bill. They get in a fight. Frank wants to leave the town. He doesn't want to stay there by himself with Bill forever. So he reckons he's going to go steal that truck battery himself. Well, he gets bit by infected in the process, and he hangs himself so that he doesn't turn into a monster. Yeah, he leaves a mean-spirited note afterwards saying that I'd rather die than turn into a monster or be stuck with you forever. Yeah, pretty mean-spirited. In any case, though, again, it's a big agenda that's being pushed. Nobody really wants it. And the fact that it's coming from HBO, look, this was part of my worry when I saw that HBO was making Last of Us in the first place. You know what HBO gets up to. You know they get raunchy with it. The fact that they went as far as they did, not really surprised. Disappointed. I was hoping that they could just try and keep it strict to the source material, make it as close to the game as possible without having to reinvent stuff. But you go online, you read the reviews. What we got? IGN here. Love in a Hopeless Place. Let's go on to our Rotten Tomatoes. 96%. Everyone's fawning over this thing. Well, the critics are. If you're a normal, mild-mannered Christian who just like to see good, wholesome values in entertaining movies, you're like, really? Seems like the only sensibilities that are okay to be offending are the people who have traditional values. The people who you depend on to make sure that there's a society for tomorrow. Because the lifestyles that these progressives choose doesn't exactly contribute to much of a future beyond their own lifespan. Anyhow, that's my rant. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. You think I'm some sort of bigot? Well, feel free to howl into the void of the comments. I don't care. It's my opinion. Take it or leave it. Bye.